Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles, and I'm here at Motorcycle Live 2022 in Birmingham in the UK. I'm going to have a quick look at the Husqvarna stand, which is just behind me. Anyone who knows how you're supposed to pronounce that can correct me now in the comments, because everybody always does. But hey, I read it, I've never really heard how it's supposed to sound. So anyway, I'll give you a quick look around the bikes they've got here on the stand and see what you think. So first up, we have their sort of street bikes at the front. So here we have the little Svartpilen 125, and I'll be honest, I quite like the look of that. I mean, I know they're sort of entry-level bikes, but that's actually got a pretty nice spec with those Vibra, which I think is Brembo's sort of budget range brakes on it. It's got those WP upside-down forks, which look quite tidy. It's got a trellis frame. I mean, this one's got some accessories on, which I guess is for a tank bag up here. And yeah, it's got a braced handlebar, even though the crossbeam is welded. It's kind of basic, but that looks like it does what's needed. You know, enough space for two people on the back, even if some people find the styling a little bit unconventional. But yeah, I actually quite like the look of that for a 125. I think I've probably looked at more 125s on this visit to Motorcycle Live than I have done before. The next one to look at is the 401, which is next to it. It's the gentleman's on at the moment. And again, very similar, you know, WP Apex suspension on the front, Vibra brakes, except this one's 410 401, which I think is the same engine that you would find in the KTM 390. So yeah, another Svartpilen, very, very similar to the 125 in every other regard, and I think KTM do something similar on their bikes from a platform perspective with a 390. Very last one to show you here is actually the Vit, which I think is the more street version, less scrambler, more street, but yeah, also a 401 using that same engine, same trellis frame. Yeah, this one's got some slightly more street focused tyres on the front of it, but yeah, I think they look really nice, and they've got that big round headlamp which goes throughout the range. It weighs about 150 kilos. It's about 44 horsepower. We're just riding around town, it's just cracking. And you know what, it's nice to see that you get fully adjustable suspension even on a bike at this price point. Next bike I look at here is the 701 Enduro, and I love these. I think they're great. If I was after a bike like this, I think I'd probably pick this one over the KTM. I know they do the LR version, that's the long range version with a bigger fuel tank, but even this, you know, it's just really sort of top spec if you're looking for something, and well, I suppose it's a bit like an adventure bike but without the comfort, but a lot more off-road capability. You know, really, really simple up top, adjustable suspension, you know, a few controls, I think that's for the engine map, and then a very, very simple Enduro style dash. You know, coming down, narrow seats, big fuel tank underneath that. I think that's actually the filler at the rear there, which actually makes me think that it's the fuel tanks in there at the sides. Nicely made swing arm, and just come back along. Just give you a look down this side of the 701. Yeah, it's just got that heat shield for the exhaust that's coming up on that side. And yeah, really, really tidy bike. Really, really like the look of one of those. I know that lots of people have got them and they absolutely love them, both as sort of multi-purpose bikes, but also for doing long distance adventures on trails. Next one here to look at is the FE 350, so that's a 4-stroke 350 single. Yeah, again, just, you know, really, really nice bikes. I think it's probably the equivalent of the EICMA 350 from KTM. This one's got a standard tank on it, but again, you know, just really nicely put together. You know, simple for what it needs to do. And yeah, actually those bars actually look quite high relative to the height of that narrow seat. There's there, it's got a composite subframe, which is nice. I'm sure for those of you that have one of these or are interested in them, you probably know a lot more about them than I do. Just looking there, I see there's a little rubber retaining band around the side stand. It's always nice to keep that up and out of the way. And yeah, really nice looking bikes. Just looking on this side, we've got the 450 rally bike, which looks, yeah, properly pimped out. Everything really, and that's that very impressive looking carbon fibre tower with the road book and the 2 ICOs just up there at the top. You know, I guess this one has been used as even a 3rd ICO. And then coming down, you've got the likes of a steering damper and more controls than you get on some aircraft, I'm sure. Yeah, that is pretty cool though. I guess that's got the double fuel tanks as well on there, with even like a fuel gauge, which is that window just on the side. So yeah, that's a really cool bike. That one does have a Dakar 2020 sticker on it, so I guess that's Pablo Quintana's bike from the race. Obviously it's had a good clean since then, but yeah, that looks really good. So the last two bikes to look at here, we've got the 701 Supermoto, which is very similar to the Enduro, but with the Supermoto wheels on it. I'll not go into a lot of detail on that, but I'm sure those of you that know, you know. And then last of all, I'll give you a look at the 901 Norden. Some of you might have seen this on my videos from last year. This time they've actually got this Husqvarna waterproof luggage all over the bike. But yeah, they're again, this is a version of the KTM 890, but done in black and yellow and white for Husqvarna. And yeah, they're really cool actually. I think the front end is the only thing that doesn't quite work for me, but you know, that's just a visual thing, and I know for a lot of people they really like that. Just to give you a look at how it actually looks from the cockpit, I think it's just a very simple, straightforward area with a TFT screen in the middle there. I think the seat on these is actually particularly comfortable as well. I don't know if you can really see on there just how wide that actually is, but I think there's certainly a lot of room for doing some long distance touring. So that's it, that's my very quick look around the Husqvarna stand here at Motorcycle Live 2022. I hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has, please check out my other content from the show. Thanks for watching.